Hi, my name is Arden Compton, and this is my fourth video on moving from negative emotions to positive emotions. I'm really excited to share with you some more information. I hope you've watched the first three. If not, make sure you go back and watch those, especially the first one. But there's good information there as well. We're talking about how to get out of negative emotions over to positive emotions, and my goal is to empower you with more information. So I want to give you a little better understanding about why we're over here and the purpose of this. And so I'm going to share a metaphor with you. I've got another little whiteboard here, and on here I have drawn an oak tree. Take my word for it, that's an oak tree, okay? And in the oak tree there's an acorn, and this metaphor on the surface is very simple, but I think if we really look at it, there's a profound message here. Acorns have the potential to become oak trees, right? Pretty much any seed has the potential to become like the parent seed that it came from. So before that acorn can become the oak tree, something has to happen. It doesn't grow into an oak tree in the oak tree, obviously, okay? It has to fall down out of the tree, okay? And once it falls down out of the tree, something else has to happen to it. It goes through a transformation. It doesn't just grow into a big acorn, right? And so somehow it has to get buried. Squirrels and birds and animals and leaves and stuff can bury it. And so here's an acorn down on the ground, and I'm just going to say it has to get buried. And there's the stuff burying it, okay? And once it's buried, and you get a little bit of sunshine on there, there's the sun, and you get some rain, there's some rain, okay? Rain and sun, when the temperature and the moisture conditions are right, it germinates, and it begins to go through a change. It sends out a little taproot that goes down here and absorbs moisture from the soil, and then a little piece comes up here, pushes through the dirt, and puts out a couple of leaves, and next thing you know, bam, you've got a whole nother tree, okay, that's producing more acorns. All right? So this is very simplistic, and my illustration is very crude. All right? But there's something really profound in this that I hope will give you a better understanding about the negative emotions that we experience in life. Okay? If we're the acorn, in this metaphor, us people, me, you and I, we are the acorn, okay? And I'm going to suggest to you that we existed in another state before we were here in a physical body, that we lived in a spirit world with a loving God that we refer to as a Heavenly Father, but we had to leave there, we had to fall down. And scriptures sometimes refer to the fall of Adam. In any case, we had to fall down. Down here, this is a very dark place, okay? It's kind of a dark planet, if you will. There's a lot of dark things that go on. But what is it that buries us? What, in this metaphor, if we're the acorn and we're getting buried, what is it that buries us? And I'm just going to suggest the word adversity, opposition. Okay? There's adversity and opposition in life that buries us. And we have to work through that. Okay? And as we work through that, through the adversity, through the darkness, okay, we get buried in darkness, adversity, opposition, we push through the darkness back up to the light. And this is really a simple but profound principle. Because if you never buried a seed, what would happen to it? What would it ever become? It would never become anything. It might get eaten, but it's never going to become that oak tree if it's not buried. So is it bad to bury a seed? Obviously it's not bad to bury a seed. It's good to bury a seed. Okay? It's when you bury a seed that you help it reach its full potential. And for us, when we get buried in adversity and opposition, it's helping us, it's putting us in the right conditions for growth. If everything was easy, there'd be no growth. What if you went to school and there was a tutor that answered all the questions for you? Well, that would be easy, but what would you ever become? Let's say you want to become a brain surgeon, and from kindergarten till you graduated with your degree as a brain surgeon, a tutor answered all the questions for you. Well, you would have a degree, but no knowledge. You've got to be able to work through the adversity and the opposition. If everything is easy, then there's no growth. When I was in high school and ran track and cross country, I had to overcome the opposition and adversity in my own body to improve my running time. And I had to push myself to the extent of my capacity so I could increase my capacity. Does that make sense? And so this adversity and opposition allows us, as we work through it, allows us to increase our capacity to grow and to improve. All right? And so we don't need to fear adversity. We don't need to fear the pain of life. There will be darkness. There's going to be hurt. There's going to be painful things that happen in life, but we don't need to fear any of it, because all of it, everything that we experience on this side, can work together for our good and help us to enjoy this side even more. If in life you've never tasted ice cream, well, you have to experience this to appreciate this. Okay? Forget I said anything about ice cream. You have to experience this to appreciate this. We're varied, we work through this, and we can't judge anybody else. We can't judge what anybody else is going through. Some seeds lie dormant for years before they begin to grow. Some seeds have to go through a fire before they will germinate. Some seeds go through the digestive tract of an animal before they germinate. I don't know what it's going to take before each of us individually germinates and really pushes through the darkness back up to the light to become what we have the potential to become. But there is a God in heaven that can help us so that we can take all of this darkness and have it all be for our good. In the end, every pain, every negative emotion you experience can be for your good. And so I want you to have hope. When you're feeling some pain in life, you can have peace of mind, hope, and confidence that it's going to be for your good. There's purpose behind it. Sometimes a person will pray and say, God, this hurts, get me out of here, take this away, remove the problem. And, well, just imagine if you're walking through the woods and you see a little acorn down in the dirt, or you hear it. We'll be a little creative here. Imagine you hear an acorn down in the dirt, and it's saying, no, get me out of here, this hurts, it's too hard, I don't want to have to push through the dirt. And let's say you, in your short-sighted compassion, remove the acorn from the dirt and put him up in the sunlight on a rock. Well, what's he going to become? Okay, is that good for the acorn? No, that's not good for the acorn. You've got to leave him there and let him grow in that condition. And sometimes I think we want the conditions that we need for growth to go away. We say, this hurts, I don't like this, God, take it away. And God in His loving wisdom says, well, what are you going to become if I take away that adversity, if I take away that problem? That problem is there for your growth. And in His wisdom, He leaves it there for us to work through. And so I hope this gives you some perspective. Okay, there's a reason behind pain. There's a reason behind all the emotions that come from the dark side. We don't want to stay there any longer than we absolutely have to, and we don't have to stay there long at all. But we're going to experience them, and just know it's going to be for your good. And that alone can help to bring you over to here as you deal with whatever the challenges that you are going to face in your individual life. Okay? Well, I hope this helps. And I've got another video coming shortly on some other principles associated with this that I hope can empower you to live your life in peace and hope and joy and light and love more consistently. Thank you, and God bless you.